playing the Shen. You talked about Game 2 being much better for CLG than Game 1. Game 1 went so well for Impulse because they kept finding fights to force, and a lot of that was specifically Shen Stand United's. Impact was the reason, I would say his involvement was the reason they had gotten ahead throughout those early games, and hopping off that did not seem to help Impact or even Impulse as a team much at all. So we'll see if there's any adaptation coming into this one. Same 3 bans every single time from CLG, but this time Tristana does come through from Impulse.
Yeah, so double AD carry ban versus a double jungle ban. I like the Azir ban this entire series from CLG as well. Gate, not that much experience on the LCS stage, really hasn't shown to have much of an influence over the game on Lulu, and it is one of the key contributors to Impulse not having any backline access. Pobelter and Doublelift have been able to pretty much free hit in the majority of team fights, and a lot of that comes because Impulse is playing protection team comps instead of full dive team comps that they have become known for.
The thing is, you have to pick for your player, right? And with Azir banned, I haven't seen Gate. We haven't had very many games, obviously.
He played Viktor.
His Viktor was.
Well, he lost lane to Phoenix because Phoenix is a better player than him, but he at least had a contribution.
I want to see him play
He
Ori.
didn't just lose lane, though. He got smashed out.
No,
at
that's true. That's
4
true.
minutes or something.
Played Ori against Gravity.
I want to see him play Ori
that
again.
one.
I mean, Ori is a champion, while it is protection in some situations, can create backline access.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Well, they are going to go right back to the Maokai, so Impulse will have a strong team fighter from the top lane.
I'm not sure what made them so afraid to play more Shen, but Impulse decides that they really, really want the Maokai, and it's also weird that they're picking a lot of these champions so early, because Maokai is not contested. It's not something that Zion wants to play, or that I'm pretty sure his team wants him to play either. He hasn't played it at all in the back half of the split.
Maybe they'll have a good counter pick here for Gate, because that's the only thing they got left.
In the past, Team Impulse has been very vocal about not really caring what the other team brings, just playing champions they are good at, say they can outplay the enemy team with that. But at the same time, then why would they be waiting for counter picks? It's a strange... Honestly, Team Impulse's drafts have not been strong this game. I think it's because they are somewhat hindered by what Gate is playing and what Gate is comfortable playing on this stage.
I think you might be right. So Doublelift does not get Tristana, goes one peg down and says, I'll be another really good turret-killing long-range AD carry. I'll be Jinx, who resets after team fights go well. So Double should be just fine. We'll see what the rest of his team comp is. Aphromoo gets to play Alistar finally.
Yeah. As much as Adrian doesn't like playing Alistar, he still considers it to be broken and hates playing against it more. So,
first pick. What is Impulse going to go for?
Honestly, looks like comfort here.
Back to comfort. So, you know, a mix of game 1 and a mix of game 2. Game 1, they rush pick the Alistar. Game 2, they banned it and picked the Braum away. Now they've got Braum one more time. Some of the Kog'Maw. I do like Braum Kog. I think it's pretty darn strong. And this is actually a front line that can kite in and out, though, with Braum being able to go in and back. It should be nice. CLG pretty much is playing the same stuff every single time. Once again, Gnar into Maokai. They feel good about that.
That kiting is very important against the Jinx, too. If Doublelift gets a reset, this could be disastrous, because once again, CLG brings so much team fight. Everybody has AoE on the CLG squad.
Well, yeah, I like the Ori pick there from CLG as well. I feel like if Impulse wanted to close out their team composition, they should have done Ori in place of the Braum. But maybe that's not a pick they're prepping anyway. They can just go with the Lulu and get another protection-style team comp, because that would probably make the most sense at this point.
Yeah. I really do want to see a Viktor.
Yeah, you might get it. It's more damage than the Lulu, and it can create some more threat.
All right, there we go.
Himself.
Impulse get Viktor Braum. This is, again, just so hard to push against, I feel like CLG. They might lose some of that push lead they've been having in the other games. Impulse finally run a big threat in the mid lane here. Impact is still on a tank. Rush still gets to play a big playmaking early game champion.
He's definitely going to have to make it count this time. Keep track of the early game wards as well to see if they can scout where the lane swap will head to.
Logic Gaming, just running the same comps over and over and over again. They feel just fine. They have not had to change up a single thing. They've probably played about 10 different champions total in this series. That's probably slightly off, but...
I mean, you could probably say that about both teams, right?
That's,
they're staying pretty
honestly,
similar on their champion picks.
Yeah, every player's played about 2 different champions.
Across 3 games, that's
Aphromoo's played
going
3.
to be true.
Yeah. You can't really get much farther. I just realized the point's not very good anymore. Thank you for just taking that one away from me. But all right, stylistically at least, these teams fairly similar. We finally see a Viktor mid instead of a Lulu. That is the one, I would say, big departure. We'll see if that's enough for Impulse here. It's going to be game 3 here, CLG on match point, and you guys at home tell us which team's going to come out on top. Tweet at LOL Esports with the hashtag CLG win or the hashtag TIP win. It seems like Impulse needs it now more than ever. Down 2 games. They need to complete the reverse sweep. Counter Logic Gaming, if they win this one, they at least dodge the first round of the North American Regional on the trip to Worlds. We'll see if they can win the playoffs themselves. Here we go, game 3, match point Counter Logic Gaming.
This is the moment that CLG has to deliver if they want to be in the finals at Madison Square Garden against the winner of TSM and Team Liquid. And to your point, Phreak, about the team stylistically staying about the same, one improvement that Team Impulse has gotten this game, even though they don't have tremendous backline access on the opponent, their ability to kill the front line is vastly improved. Viktor plus a Kog'Maw can shred pretty much any tank when you combine the 2 of them together.
Except the first pick, Alistar. Let's see what kind of Moo can do.
I mean, Aphromoo can carry a ball into Gnar and an Ekko and just kill off the Kog'Maw. It's actually pretty rough. A lot of Aphromoo can do.
The cow ball delivery system, once again, CLG have used it before.
Rush's Q was down, he couldn't kill the trinket. Could not get the attack speed.
A lot more pressure here on Gate to win this matchup. Maybe we even see an early visit from Rush. Try and turn it in his favor.
It's going to be hard to make that successful. Viktor, not the best gank assistance early game. Pre-6 doesn't have, I feel like, quite the burst to make that scary. But it should be easy enough for him to get some farm. Viktor, one of the best wave clearers in the middle laning phase.
After he upgrades.
Yeah, like about at level 7, you one-shot casters with 1,000 gold investment.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
CLG starting everyone on the top side here. They are going to swap their dual lane up there. It will be a swap.
Invade, that is spotted.
They just want to disrupt the saplings.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Aphromoo loses some health, but who cares?
Taking away the small advantages that Impulse are trying to feed to Gate. And he misses his first laser. Done.
Rough start.
You know, they say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and he wasn't even able to throw a laser at the Raptors, so he might even miss 2. He couldn't take the Raptors laser. All right. Well, hits one there. We're going to see how this mid lane matchup pans out. CLG is still trying to play into that top jungle, though.
And still trying to affect Rush's early game. They got the lane swap off. They're getting the jungle invade off. Rush
doesn't have smites.
Heading to the weak side for some reason.
Well, they already have the Braum and the Maokai up there, though. They actually swapped Impact in there early, so we will be gaining golden experience, whereas ZionSpartan is still double jungling and actually will not be level 2.
Yeah, Rush again doing a buffless start on Lee Sin. He does 2 small camps first, and now
Xmithie's got a red buff.
He hit level 3, though.
3 to 2, though. Rush, the only reason he's walking away right there
doesn't know where the W is.
Well, it's to avoid the parallel convergence, but he also doesn't know what kind of backup, because they didn't see the recall of ZionSpartan, so he thought it was going to be the double jungle finding him.
And that's always threatening.
The Rush I know. So if he knew it was a 1 versus 1,
yeah, it's true. He would have jumped that guy. All right, well, under the turret is Impact as the Gnar makes his way down to the bottom lane here. So we're going to have mirrored lanes in terms of solo in the bot lane and a dual lane top side. See the matchups actually play out. Apollo cannot quite harass under turret. His minions aren't far enough ahead. And I'm curious to see where the gold goes. So far, with the minions on the field, Impulse are up 300. And in fact, Gate doing sizably well. He's up 5 right now in the mid lane matchup. Significant improvement over normal for him.
I wonder what caused Pobelter to miss those CS so reliably ahead of Gate early in the Ori versus Lulu matchup.
Viktor definitely stronger.
I think Pobelter gestured to assist Xmithie in the jungle early on the lane, but I can't say that for certain.
Experience-wise, they're the same. He wasn't at least out of range of the minions.
Okay.
Of course, that is longer than his attack range. It still could have been true. He at least just didn't miss XP.
There's very little to try and pressure the Viktor without gank assistance, so Gate should be able to get these CS.
And that makes me ask why he didn't pick it before.
Barring.
Because last game, the Orianna was blind picked as well, and he had the chance of going Viktor.
Because it was a team comp.
That's true, that's true, it's true. I mean, there's more than laning phase.
Yeah, I mean,
of course.
if you want to lane phase,
Viktor's pretty
pick
good.
Viktor.
Yeah.
But they were going for
Yeah, okay, that's fair, you're right. But has made the adaptation here, and so far so good for Impulse. Of course, it's still very early on. We got to see much more of this game play out.
It's a minor difference, but I went back and checked. They both just stayed in lane the whole time. So Pobelter now with a slight harassment edge. Maybe he'll come back. This game pretty much all about the laning, and specifically, while the mid laners trade, it is about the top lane versus AD carry trade-off and how we have a Gnar laning against Kog'Maw, which will favor the Kog'Maw experience-wise, and it's actually kind of amazing that Impact has 29 CS on Maokai despite being up against AD carry.
Oh, Apollo had to flash away, and he might not have enough to do. There's the stun coming in. That's going to be the first blood, and they're going to give it over to Xmithie. Just like last game, the jungle gank comes in, they kill off the AD carry, just opposite sides.
Xmithie on the Ekko. Rush trying to answer though. Gate baiting him in.
Gives him the shield and the heal. No chance for Pobelter now. Oh, I think he queued a minion, but Rush gonna have enough damage. Auto attacks him down, and there we go.
Jungle gank successful. Jungler's gold acquired in this case. Pobelter already at a bit of a disadvantage. This could set up Gate for a lot of success, especially if they can shove this lane into turret in time and deny the cannon wave. That could be really huge.
Yeah. The other thing about how Impulse take over games, during the regular season, Rush had the most jungle share, as far as jungle camps taken of any jungler. So he takes over the enemy jungle a lot. And having a strong mid laner, Viktor is the strong pick, plus now Viktor with a lead is the perfect combo to do that with. Let's see if he tries to use that to his advantage. Xmithie, though, actually did get the first blood bonus. So as far as the heads up, he does have the little bit of extra gold.
Yeah, they end up being tied as a result of the slightly extra farm despite the first blood. Impulse also up a couple hundred gold despite that first blood advantage.
Yeah, I mean, literally everyone on their team has more CS than CLG, so the typical early laning phase from CLG isn't paying off like they would expect it to.
All right,
Zion
ZionSpartan,
going
how
real
much you
aggressive.
got? There's the Mega Gnar, but Rush is here. Good luck, ZionSpartan. They get away from the stun. He flashes out. There's the ward hop. One more hit will do it. Rush
And
flashes
6.
for the kill. It's 6, but Xmithie gets out.
Rush able to work around that parallel convergence, no problem, and find the kill with his flash. Great.
Really solid.
It was just really good movement there by Rush.
Yeah.
No wasted time.
And now Xmithie's got to be careful. He's not level 6 just yet.
How many minions does he need?
A lot. He won't get 6 off this. Here comes the push on in. Impact pulls aggro. Runs away right off the bat. The shield will come in just in time to buy him some time. And now it's Adrian taking some damage from the champions. Rush still got to be careful. Hyper comes off on him. Impact is low. They've got to be careful. Where's the damage? The kick is down from Lee Sin. Misses the Q, and Zion gets the kill. They knocked out Impact too. The dive does not work out. Xmithie survives.
Impulse too deep. They can't just take the win and walk away. The tower dive on Xmithie backfires. Great teleport there from Zion, and they're able to pick up the double.
A series of over-aggressive plays by both teams, honestly. ZionSpartan had level 6 advantage, so he looked to immediately counter Impact. That was punished by Team Impulse, but he actually went up to lane without his TP in the first place, so when the dive does happen, Xmithie can stall long enough for Zion to support him, and it all falls back into CLG's favor.
And look at this adaptation from Rush going Cinder Hulk on Lee Sin. Deviating from normal because they do have Gate as their DPS mid lane.
That's
But
still so rare for Rush on Lee Sin.
It's definitely going to reduce the soloing potential that he has. Definitely can't make that same play where sees a low health target and runs straight for him under turret as he did with Zion last game.
Yeah. He did at least have that run of Cinderhulk Vi last split. That was pretty reasonable.
I mean, he's even swapped over. Okay, here we go.
All right, Pobelter taking some damage. Ooh, dodges the Q, does barely. Now Xmithie shows up. He will not land the stun.
Yeah, good call not to over-chase this time around. Going into an Ekko counter gank is devastating. Rush has actually even started Warrior before and swapped over in the late game to Cinderhulk.
I've seen that, yeah.
But yeah, he will have better health scaling at least.
We'll see as that pans out. Aphromoo not yet level 6, whereas Adrian is, so a slight level lead in the bot lane for a short time until Aphro gets that.
Pretty big lead now that Doublelift is matching back up against Apollo. Even though Apollo is on the Kog'Maw post level 6, Doublelift very decent CS lead here. Aphromoo positioning very forward in the lane, allowing them to continue shoving here.
The first blood gank that Xmithie was able to put down onto Apollo to really set him back. Interesting that Xmithie actually wins the duel. Cinderhawk v Cinderhawk.
Yeah, didn't see the opening to that.
We saw the ending of this one. Impact taking a whole lot of damage. He's one hit away from dead. WZ gets mature at range, but can't Q or auto attack in time to heal. Solo kill for ZionSpartan. The fight continues. Rush getting jumped on. The rocket comes in. Counterlogic Gaming ripping this game apart.
That's a big advantage for CLG right there. 3 kills. This gives them dragon control. They just killed Impact. He does have teleport. Maybe he thinks about coming in. That would be far too risky.
Yeah, it is such a huge morale boost for CLG to get cross-map wins. Zion finding the solo at the same time as the rest of CLG collapsing for a great invade there. They leave behind deep wards.
Yeah.
They just took control.
That's the type of thing that just gives your team the ability to sweep a series, right? They're already up 2-0. The question will be whether CLG would be able to maintain the momentum. Early game, they absolutely have. Having a solo kill on ZionSpartan as well as an aggressive flash forward move in the jungle when everybody contributes. And then Xmithie even wins the duel against the red buff. Like, everything is heading up.
Well,
beautiful play.
The win he was looking for there would be killing the red buff without having to use his smite. That's why he held on to it so long. He didn't want to have to, but
still didn't.
At least he didn't die to it.
Yeah. Good. It's okay. Broken Shark can rest easy. His team qualified for the European LCS, so.
I feel like you were stretching with that one. You really wanted to make the Broken Shark reference. Oh, well. You get points for it.
I appreciate that. I get 1 point. I don't deserve many. Impact pressing pretty heavily into this lane. Actually zoning out ZionSpartan a fair bit here. Despite the solo kills, Impact still trying to do the best he can in this matchup. Still up 20 minions as well. CLG slowly get farther and farther ahead in this game. It's a difficult road up for Impulse. They need to win this one.
Yep. I mean, the lane swap advantage, Doublelift had the CS advantage over Apollo, and Impact was supposed to be able to utilize his CS advantage when he met back up with Zion, but finding that solo kill, very, very big for him.
It's a favorable Gnar matchup as well. Slightly favorable, able to pick up kill. Black Cleaver being completed is huge. Doublelift is probably sitting on a ton of gold as
They're
well.
both sitting on about 2,000.
Yeah, about 2,500 gold actually.
Flash by Doublelift, but they do catch up Aphromoo, who is out of mana, which means he cannot ult out of this one. He's going to get picked up right there. Kill goes through. No, Adrian gets it with Ignite. They couldn't quite give the kill over. Double is missing his flash, though. Rush.
We know what happens when this goes on.
There's a smite, there's the kick, there's the Q, there's the other one, and there's the kill for Rush.
Kick, punch, kill.
Didn't even have to flash or ward hop for it.
Well, CLG definitely overstayed in that lane. You can see Doublelift was hoping for those last item breakpoints, and it cost them 2 kills. Some of the momentum they had puts them into overstaying. It's going to cost them the first turret of the game as well. Pretty big misstep there.
I mean, plus Gate, all this while, is going to be shoving mid lane, so he's going to get some turret damage there as well. Impulse may be able to rotate up.
Yeah, big health lead in the mid lane turret. It's down to half, whereas Gate's nearly full here. There's actually a lot that's coming up soon for Impulse.
Yeah. Bar CS though, Pobelter right back in it, draws even with Gate on Orianna after completing his Athene's plenty of regeneration as well as match resist, toe-to-toe in trades.
Xmithie doing the best job to keep the vision control coming up for his team. Going towards a likely Sightstone second off that Ruby Crystal we see there, and every single time he gets Ekko, and every single time he's done a good job being that frontline tank and keeping his team solid. CLG working well as a team.
Yeah, and they also have heavy ward control where Rush is on the map, so they know exactly where he is.
Oh man.
Got him.
The stun lands, the flash shockwave. Pobelter says thank you very much. The shield's not going to be enough. Mid lane kill comes through.
Again, Xmithie on this Ekko. Down bottom lane
dear, that's a big one. Follow.
Doublelift took turret aggro
that's
a little bit
heartbreaking.
early, so they couldn't pull off that gank.
Thankful for Aphromoo that he was stuck in the Void Ooze, but of course not taking any damage out of that one. So Apollo stays safe, burning both summoners though, to be fair.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
They can visit him again soon. Mid lane outer does go down. Well done by CLG off that gank. 3,000 gold for these guys. Impulse unfortunately could not give the kills or many assists even to Apollo. This Kog'Maw floundering a little.
It's actually very big for the next dragon. Probably should just go over this. Whoa.
Back teleporting in for the bottom lane play. ZionSpartan would have stay up there because they have caught out Aphromoo, and Rush just running to the front side. He wants Doublelift. He's going to get a lot of damage. This guy, there's the kick flash. There's the Q, and oh my god, over and over and over again. Rush making the plays.
One of the big vulnerabilities of a Jinx versus a Tristana, the escapes when they come down for a gank is not nearly the same, yet CLG is not adapting their playstyle. They're playing in an empty lane, meaning they have no turret behind them, and they also don't have the advanced wards on that side of the map. So again, CLG is punished for pushing a little bit too far on the bottom side, and it's good for Tip to keep going back to that well and getting more gold.
Yeah, they need to keep this bottom line in check. Doublelift and Aphromoo have been such a huge part of the first two victories for CLG.
And crucially, item breakpoints win for the AD carries just in time. Finish Trinity Force, 1 minute before Dragon. Doublelift cannot get Infinity Edge money in time for that himself, despite the Avarice Blade money coming in for himself. So just maybe the next fight goes well. Gate getting caught up too. Does not quite land. The shield though blocks all the counterattack damage. Gate still gets a couple of hits. Ooh! Xmithie dodges into the Braum chair.
But
all
the
is well.
only reason they went for that deep of a jungle invade is because they had such good ward coverage on the other side of the jungle, and they had eyes on both Rush and Apollo. So Xmithie was confident that he could extend that far, try and go for the stun without too much of a counterplay there from Impulse, and then just back out by the time Rush and Apollo rotate over.
And now a Dragon in 12 seconds. Both blue buffs just got taken by their respective mid laners. Those buffs are in. Halfway to the crucial items in for the mid laners.
All right, so we are getting to that dragon fight where Apollo will have no summoner spells. Gonna have to give a large berth to both Aphromoo and ZionSpartan, but they're not even going for the dragon. They want to trade it for this mid lane turret.
No TP for impact. He has to stay with the team down at Dragon, so
Yeah,
CLG
try
has
and
some
use
room
the
to make
Jinx
plays.
for some big plays.
Will stun him. Fair bit of damage. They trade it back. There's the red team picking up the dragon. Now, how good is their push on the CLG? ZionSpartan still pushing the top lane as this goes in. Mid gets clear, but Zion got free reign up there, and the team joins him.
I actually like that for Impulse. They're trying to rotate up to the top to defend that one as well. A lot of work being done, though.
Yeah, they're pretty
Won't
quick.
get there in time.
There's also a Righteous Glory on Impact. That's one of the big item breakpoints, as well as the Trinity Force for Kog'Maw. So it doesn't look like we'll see a fight early with the turret being down.
Oh, CLG go for the bait.
Oh,
They got
maybe.
behind an Adrian, the head, but over the wall. Nothing you can do about this one. The kill picked up cleanly. Counter Logic Gaming, what a great play.
Yeah, that was just super clever in the long form of things. It's an even objective trade, but then when you just thought it was over, CLG continues the fight. Get that nice kill on Adrian.
Well, it's still a scary Kog'Maw, but be careful of Alistar, of course. His flash is down, so you have some telegraph of his plays. Apollo has to be pretty smart about this one. He and Gate are the damage dealers. It is 4 kills on the Cinder Hulk Lee Sin, who gets jumped on right now by Aphromoo. Shockwave buys even more time and rushes another kill here. Now what can the carries do of this team? Gnar pushes him in. A big play by ZionSpartan. It's going to be cleanup crew now for Counter Logic Gaming. They want into the finals. 1 kill comes through. That's fine. They win another fight.
They were actually remarkably low when they committed in for the rest of that fight, but what a massive play it was. Great Shockwave, good Gnar ult to secure some kills, and they are pulling really far ahead in this one.
Yeah, back-to-back big picks there for Aphromoo, setting that all up, and the re-engage from Zion going to net them another, but the double buff there for a short time on Gate is able to fend them off and should be able to equalize here. Get some global gold back for Team Impulse.
I loved how aggressively ZionSpartan engaged to continue that fight, knowing that Apollo was still down flash on Kog'Maw. The beginning of this one, I mean, you can see why Rush did go Cinder Hulk Lee Sin, because he's going to be victim to a lot of damage here. Still dies regardless. Getting the 2-man Shockwave is nice, and honestly, it's the backline access that doesn't exist for Team Impulse. People are free hitting. ZionSpartan shoots them back at him, and it's Doublelift and Pobelter from the backside yet again, just doing all the damage they want to do.
Yeah, that's why I keep talking about the strength of this team fight here for CLG, because Impulse have very low mobility carries in Viktor and Kog'Maw. Yes, they're high damage, but they're very low mobility, and it's so hard to peel Gnar and Alistar initiations.
Yeah.
They both have gap closes that you can't interrupt
with
and will
Shockwave.
just jump straight to the back line. easy ball delivery systems for CLG. Fight's breaking out inside the jungle, though.
Apollo lost flash, and the fight continues now. Be careful. Impact running out from this one. Some slows by Xmithie at all as well.
CLG's got to be very careful here, knowing that they whiffed the shockwave already. It gives a window for Team Impulse to get aggressive, but Zion goes in anyway.
Goes in, they don't get the burst, but he can stun everybody. A lot of damage comes through. Viktor trying to turn him down with the Chaos Storm, but it's not enough just yet. Xmithie into the back line looking for Rush. He's one hit away from killing him off. Top lane turret goes down, gets the pick on Lee Sin, ults right back out, and now Impact's got to be really careful on this. It's already 2 kills for CLG. Actually, Xmithie, Aphromoo misses the stun, and Impact helps the team pick up one for themselves. Into the back lane goes Xmithie, looks for a gate, gets a lot of damage in, does pick the kill up, and now what can Apollo do? He can't find ZionSpartan anymore, and it's a double kill for Doublelift again.
And a 1-for-5 ace for CLG. When you miss a shockwave, have a failed headbutt pulverize, and still win the fight 5-for-1, you're probably going to the finals.
And it's going to happen here. It looks so likely. 7 kills up, 6,000 gold, and it's going to be even more when Baron comes through as ZionSpartan joins the team. Looks like they don't need all 5 for this one. It's just the 4 going to take down Baron cleanly and quickly, and all is well. Adrian can only sit back and watch, and Counter Logic Gaming fans can finally feel like the golden age has arrived. They're looking so good in Game 3 here, and they just might get that first final.
All right, let's take another look at this. Because we cautioned last game against the small corridors and fighting in them, Rush actually goes in just as Zion gets the stun. Then there's the parallel convergence all, and in that timing, Adrian goes down.
Yeah, and it's this triple tank team from CLG. Honestly, Xmithie's Ekko did so much work in these small corridors. Aphromoo goes in for this re-engage, doesn't get the headbutt off, just pulverizes nothing as Impact jumps in, but then it's Xmithie who re-engages onto Apollo. He gets a stun on the gate, takes the hits from Apollo, and he is, at this point, the front line that is keeping Doublelift and Pobelter in these fights. Alistar, Ekko, Gnar, just such a strong front line to allow Pobelter and Doublelift to do work.
So CLG now, they have got a minute and a half of this Baron buff left for them. We'll see how much they can push through with this one. Ward's cleared away. Jinx with a shield, very safe champion, and mid lane tier 2 goes down. The gold lead grows. 8,500 gold.
Yeah, this is
for inhibitor.
They are in such a good position to win this game right now. 8,000 gold, only 22 minutes in, and pushing on the inhibitor, whereas Tip is too weak to want a team fight, because if they lose the team fight, the game is over right now. But honestly, the game may already be decided unless CLG makes a monstrous misstep.
There's the inhibitor, 22.5 minutes in. It would require a lot for Impulse to get back in here. Kog'Maw still only on 1 item. Yet again, Doublelift is ahead of Apollo. Whether you build the team around him or not, Doublelift is doing so much work for the team.
Yep.
Pobelter also a great Orianna this game. Down the line, CLG looking very strong, every single player.
Doublelift has kept his farm tremendously high this game, even though he did overstay a few times to get punished. But holistically, it's worked exceptionally well for CLG, and this could be the moment where they kind of break their playoff curse. They still want to win the whole thing. That's their end goal. Never finished above 3rd place in an NALCS playoffs. They lost their last 2 series 3-0 to anti-3-0 someone right there. Now another fight in the lane.
Shockwave hits the 2-minute shockwave. Jinx Rocket hits one, but it kills off Impact, so one of the big tanks is gone, and the push can always continue. There's just not enough damage. The minion's not getting cleared all that fast, and now comes the turret pushing.
Yeah, 1 tank down, the other one out. Too low to even defend this. CLG with the Baron buff should be able to get a 2nd inhib.
That was a red buff. Rush got to be real careful, and that one has to go back to the base to heal, which buys even more time for CLG. They've got 2 casters and a cannon, and they've got a Jinx. So here comes inhibitor turret number 2. It dies so quickly, and now inhibitor number 2. Counter Logic Gaming have shattered the base in 24 minutes.
They're going to savor that moment before they head to the finals. North American. Oh, here we go. Impact
This is a last-ditch effort.
Here we go,
teleport.
Impulse. How much can they get? Who can they find? They look for Pobelter. The damage comes in. There's the kick. There's the shutdown. Xmithie's next up has to dodge away and does not have mana to save himself. How much more can Impulse get? There's the root. There's the hit. There's the kill onto Xmithie. It's coming down eventually. Rush gets it. That's 2 picked up. But how many objectives are left for Impulse to grab?
Yeah.
Nothing. They've got 2 inhibitors down, and their lanes are all shoved into their base.
They nearly picked up the third. They actually walked past Aphromoo, left him alone to kill off Xmithie. I can't disagree, but they didn't get the last kill.
Stay calm.
Sneaky guy. It was actually kind of an interesting choice there. Team Impulse had the home guard teleport, and CLG was down multiple ultimates. And if they had stuck around, I think CLG would have had a chance of turning this fight, even though Doublelift was low on mana. But they kind of play it safe. CLG wanted to minimize their losses and not accidentally get aced here. Pobelter being caught out is, I think, the big reason they fell back here. But they were about to get Gnar, and Doublelift was still at full health. Either way, not the end of the world for them to lose to Team Impulse, especially knowing no objectives.
I say definitely cut your losses. Just give away a couple kills. That is not going to be enough for Impulse to come back into the game.
Yeah, all it does is give him time to farm minions. This Kog'Maw is only 100 gold away from having Blade of the Ruin King. That is a very important item to get. But 25 minutes for 2-item Kog is super late, so still not necessarily even that threatening. Yeah. CLG have no major objectives to take. They've got to get into the base to do any of that. They're now missing Baron. It's just the gold lead allowing CLG to push. They're going to try for inhibitor number 3.
You would think that this game is going to wait for the next major objective to come down, knowing that CLG would kind of want to play it defensively.
I'd say 3 inhibitors being down is a major objective.
Yeah. Well, 2 inhibitors are down, and they do have Alistar for the potential dive. But if they waited for the Baron in 2 minutes, it would be a much more secured 3rd inhibitor. Let's see how patient CLG is willing to be, or if they just want to take the game right now.
Well, 4 flashes up for Impulse, so the ability to make hardcore plays is here. Of course, a similar state for Counterlogic Gaming.
The double lines of super minions already flooding into the base, though. They buff each other up with their auras. You have to send multiple people over to deal with those.
Yeah.
And CLG
yeah, they can walk up and take this right now.
All right, Viktor and Kog got to rejoin the team. Apollo's here. Here's the push on in.
They have to fight now if they're going to fight.
And there's the turret going down. No chance for the impact.
I don't even know if they could have fought then, because the minions would have taken down their Nexus turrets if they go in. At the very least, they want to be able to hold this inhibitor. Well, there's no real windows for them to go in well.
There's no good fight that they're going to take. You have to do it before you get flooded. Now,
yeah, 3 inhibs and Baron is no chance of winning at all. 10% is better than 0. Yeah. Impulse did not go for the 10%. There's the engage, a 2-man knockup with no turrets really left. Here's the backline access. How much can they kill? Impact buying a lot of time, but there's the shockwave. It's a doozy. 2 kills picked up already, and it's time for the slaughter. CLG, another knockup. There's a double kill for 2 members. This is going to be the game. The 3-0 sweep. Counterlogic Gaming finally get a good season. They're headed to the finals, and CLG are 1 best-of-5 away from the World Championship.
That has to feel so good for CLG. After the entire season, after the losing streak they had in the middle of the split, after not winning the tiebreaker game to get the #1 seed. But all in all, this has been their best split by regular season finish with 2nd place, and now guaranteed to be their best split because they are in the finals in Madison Square Garden next week.
What is it?